Welcome back, everyone. Spring and summer is a time for new growth and taking bold action together. So we hope these stories will inspire you to live boldly, take wise chances, and with our friends and family make a difference together. Today we're going to be reading The American Story, 100 True Tales from American History by Jennifer Armstrong and illustrated by Roger Roth. So lean in with the spirit of adventure, grab a friend, and let's enjoy the story together. 1884, hold your horses, here come the elephants. When the Brooklyn Bridge opened in 1883, the world stood back in bug-eyed awe at the great soaring span suspended over the East River. It was a marvel of steel wire engineering that stretched more than 3,500 feet from end to end. On the day it opened, I'll show you the picture here. The book is kind of heavy though. So it's a suspension bridge, so, not like typical bridges at the time where it looked fully supported. It looked a little bit scary because it was a more novel design. All right. Yeah. On the day it opened, thousands of people walked across it from both directions. Carriages and trams rumbled back and forth, and livestock were driven into market. But there were those in the public who feared the bridge was unsafe. There had never been such a long suspension bridge, and who knew if that steel spider's thread was really stable. Within weeks, the tragedy that the pessimists had predicted arrived. A woman crossing the bridge slipped. Her companion cried out in alarm. The cry was heard and repeated by others on the crowded walkway, and a panic followed. The bridge is collapsing. Why would someone say that? The bridge is collapsing came screams of terror, and people began pushing and shoving like cattle in a stampede. When it was all over, 12 people were dead and 35 others were badly hurt. See, this is why you try not to panic when scary things happen. Take a deep breath. We're going to, talk about it off and on when we talk about Hatchet and things like that. But it's so, so important to get your information from your surroundings and not from the fear and panic that's coming from inside of you, because things like this can happen. And 35 others were badly hurt. The tragedy cast a gloom over the great engineering triumph, and city officials cast about for a way to rekindle the excitement. On the first anniversary of the bridge's opening, their wish was granted by the unparalleled showman, P.T. Barnum. Readers of the Brooklyn Eagle discovered a notice announcing Barnum's circus parade. We shall show 16 open dens of wild animals with keepers inside, Barnum boasted. 32 racing camels, cages of birds, beasts, and huge sinuous reptiles, zebras trained into harness, a Santa Claus chariot, random, drawn by reindeer, Roman racing chariots drawn by 4 horses abreast. The white bleached elephant will lead the herd of 40 other elephants, some harnessed to chariots 26 feet high and others with hodas upon their back. This was to be the spectacle marching through the streets of Brooklyn to the fairgrounds. But Barnum had in mind a special parade preview for the bridge itself. Before the cavalcade even reached Brooklyn, in interest of the dear public, which needed its mindset at ease over the security of the Great Suspension Bridge, Barnum would march past part of his parade from Manhattan to Brooklyn across the bridge. The sacred white Indian elephant that had joined Barnum's circus was a celebrity attraction, but no elephant in the world could match the mighty Jumbo in popularity. So on the evening of the 24th, my goodness, of May, your brother just lays here nicely, Yeah, he does. She says, is this a competition? Because it feels like not. So on the evening of the 24th of May, Barnum set out for the Cortlandt Street Ferry and went up Broadway to the ramp of the bridge. Oh, I gotta turn the page. Oh gosh, I gotta turn the page. These are big pages. Behind him came 21 elephants, 7 Bactrian camels, and 10 dromedaries, with Jumbo bringing up the rear. The most prodigious pachyderm in the known world came marching along on ponderous feet. What is this, Dr. Seuss? Flapping his great ears and tossing his trunk in the air. Hooray for Jumbo! Came shouts of delight. Horses reared and snorted at the wild beast smell of the elephants. And the toll keeper at the end of the bridge let the parade through without asking for a nickel. Well, yeah, that makes sense. All right, I'll let you see the picture here. I mean, it's a drawing, not a picture, but so. And the toll keeper at the end of the bridge let the parade through without asking a nickel. He didn't know what toll to charge an elephant. That makes sense. Twinkling lights framed the massive arches and the soaring cables. White gulls wheeled against the deep twilight sky, and the steamers tooted their horns on the river below as the elephant parade marched to Brooklyn, and no one ever doubted the strength of the Brooklyn Bridge again. And the note says, Barnum purchased Jumbo, the largest and most famous elephant in captivity, from the London Zoo in 1882. It was this elephant that introduced the word jumbo, meaning gigantic, into our vocabulary. That's fun.